A very good evening, everyone. And today is the day one for business analysis track. And in totality, this is the another day for the complete track of Agile Scrum BA. So why the day one? Because we are transitioning today towards the completely into business analysis. Last time on Friday evening, we finished with the track which is of Agile Scrum purely, it was dedicated to. So before we get started, why we are going so much in the deep, why we went so much in detail and tried touching business analysis, Agile Scrum tracks so much in detail, because we have only one uh, common goal: to get placed. And for that, it requires to be protected, because with the time, our goal gets faded away and we don't even realize that why it is happening. And for that, it is quite necessary to keep on protecting it. And for that, we bring the complete code of honor, which is the key factor which keeps it protected. And I'm going to share the screen. What are those? The very first one is showing up live. That is, we need to practice, we need to demonstrate. You can see on the screen. Please let me know if you can see the screen. Can you all?
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes.
So the very first one is showing up live. That is to practice to be on time, punctual, and highly committed. Why? Because this is what we do everywhere, is how we do everywhere. And the same way how we do everything is how what we do everything. So these things defines the character going further, and prepare us to repeat and demonstrate once we get placed into corporate of America, into IT. And uh, we have started this all entire journey with the learning, and that is the first pillar of the Guru schools. That and then for that, to qualify at deeper level, you need to remember to become a full stack student. What does it mean? It means that doing all the assignments and doing self research, not only just which are taught over here, but apart from that, you are going a self research separately, that also counts in, and repeat whatever you have learned. That makes you a full stack student. And third one is the taking responsibility by doing, and responding to point number two. You are ready to take the responsibility of success, because that will yield so. And in case you don't practice, that will yield failure. And if you will take the responsibility of failure as well, there are chances you can correct it and then make it a trail of success. But when you don't take the responsibility of this second element, it will remain and continue to expand, and you will demonstrate more in front of you, experience it in front of you. And I'm sure that everyone want to experience the success by taking the responsibility of it. The fourth one becomes, okay, where the fourth one has gone. So let me recheck. I think, yeah, here it is. So how it can be achieved? It can be achieved through the strong mindset. And when you are pursuing the very first pillar of Guru School, that is instructor led free training. Who is Gitanjali, by the way? Okay, we'll see. So you must have the learning mindset. And then when you will have this and you are following these all, remember to make yourself completely complaint free. And you remember to have the positive mindset, and remember to load yourself with the gratitude. And while these all are happening, how it can be achieved? It can be achieved by the fifth code of honor, and that is to receive the uh, increase the receptivity throughout the day. And for that, I have shared one audio track with you that is recommended to listen daily. thrice in a day, that is recommended to listen thrice in a day at least. But I understand the time constraint. That's the reason we encourage you to listen at least once every single day, because that address the problems which everyone may experience before getting placed and before serving to the jobs or the duty in daily routine. And uh, when you will take that, always remember to follow the golden quadrant of the learning, and that is declaring, learning, drawing, and summarizing. So before learning you need to declare, okay, and that declaration has to happen with a uh, with an anchor, and then you move towards the deep learning. And once you learn that, then you must draw it, so that immediately you get the power upon the memory to retain it for longer. And then when you summarize it, you will identify, there is a scientific reason behind it, is that it makes your dendrite connection inside your memory very, very stronger. By the way, before we get into the details of it, let me ask that okay, let me ask this, that who is Geetanjali, by the way? Because I see this is the first name. So,
Oh, sorry, it's me, Project. I got to change my name. I forgot.
okay,
Sorry.
please do so. I'm not sure whether you can, but just give me a second. And yes, now you can,
Mm.
Prajakta. So please change your name. So, yes. So are we ready for the declaration with the anchor is nothing but the self clap, and self clap is nothing but the self hi-fi, I would say. So are you all ready for this? And can you see this uh, declaring statement selected over the screen, please?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, yes.
Thank you so much. Let me once again select it. And at the count of three, we are going to clap together and repeat after me once I read what is selected. One, two, three, and go. I am a quick learner.
I
I
am a
am a
quick
quick
learner.
learner.
Quick learner.
What others can learn and master,
What others
What
can learn
others
and
can learn and
master,
master,
I too can do that.
I
I
too
too
can do
can do
that.
you
that.
can do that.
Once again, you need to clap and declare with the self hi-fi. You need to declare after me. I'm going to read it and you are going to repeat after me what is selected over here. So one, two, three, and go again. Because I'm an awesome learner,
Because
Because
I'm an
I'm an
awesome
awesome
Because I am
learner,
an
learner.
awesome learner,
today's learning is going to be super duper easy to me.
today's
Today's
learning
today's
is
learning is
learning
going
is
to be
going to be
super
super
duper easy
duper
to me.
easy to
super
me.
duper easy to me.
Yes, exactly. It is going to be because you just now said so. And when you declare that gates designed towards the destination, that is the universal law, that's the reason it is going to happen. So, while you are learning this, always remember you can learn more when you keep the ego away on the path of learning. And because you might be knowing various things, you might be repeating it, but with the repetition, it may not get sinking in, because you have already added a board in front of the entrance of the wisdom, that I know it, and that becomes the main barrier when you know something, and it is when getting repeated with some extra knowledge, you just simply deny that to also from receiving. So that's the reason it is said that on the path of learning, always keep your ego away, and by doing so, that makes you more spiritually grounded. And when we are talking about keeping yourself spiritually grounded, we all are doing this course with the complete intent to get placed, so that we can start earning something extra bucks. So when we are doing so, you are always recommended and encouraged to have an intent to do the charity when you start earning. In case you are earning something today, always pursue this intent to have charity. It could be donating some amount, giving away some amount from your earning to the society, for or in a cause wherever you are believing in. It could be towards feeding the hungry, or temple, or in a mosque, or in church, wherever you are believing in. So always give away 5 to 10% of your earning, because it is said that when you give you grow, and when you receive you may survive. So start giving away to with the intent to grow. But for here I would say that don't just start giving away with the intent to grow, but also start giving away to inspire others to start doing charity by them as well. And while this is happening, I would request you to appreciate what you do and what others do for you. And even though something does not happen in return in favor to you, because what you appreciate appreciates you back. So with this total understanding, I would request you, just give me a second, would request you to do this. So on this note, let me reshare my screen, and here you would see the PowerPoint slide for business analysis track, because we are transitioning over there. By the way, let me ask you all, how many of you could go through the recording of last time? Did you find time to go through the recording of last time?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, fantastic.
Yes.
And did you
Yes.
also go through the point on the velocity, which was covered in a separate video?
Yes.
Yes, but
Yes.
with some doubts.
Okay, who has Sharda has some doubts?
No.
Tejaswini.
Tejaswini, yeah, Tejaswini, please tell if you want to ask.
So can I connect back because I did not go last 2 minutes I was left
Okay,
behind. So yeah,
sure, no
I'll connect
problem.
back with you offline. Thank you.
Yeah, anytime you can. So today we are we will be completing week 4, all right, and we are transitioning towards business analysis. So let's read, understand about business analyst. So today it may happen that we will not be getting into more details of it, but gradually this the entire concept will continue to sink in. Okay, so before we proceed, Prerna, I would like to invite you if you want to add something, because we are going to get started with completely business analyst track, and it's a history and all about, as you know. So Prerna.
Thank you so much, Gaurav. A warm welcome to all of you girls. So basically, we'll be starting with a business analysis track, and we have completed our agile track. So I'll just recommend you to, go through our videos, or if you have made any notes, and if you have any doubts, do connect with us. You can message on the group or DMS, because as we continue to learn, we have to ensure that all your doubts and clarifications are done properly. So that's it from my side, Gaurav. I think we are good to go in get into the BA mode now,
Yeah,
because that's something very interesting, and that is in continuation with agile. So I think all of them will be able to correlate quite well. Right.
sure. Thank you, Prerna. So yeah,
Okay.
so yes, so understand the history from where it started. So it's a international institute of business association and of business analysts came together, and they founded in Toronto in October of 2003, 2003, in year 2003, to support this community. And there they formed a body of business analyst knowledge committee. And from October 2004, it started becoming visible, and they defined and drafted a global standard for the practice of business analyst communities. And when it all started from 2003, they formed the community, they came together, they launched in 2004, and in 2005 January almost, IIBA, International Institute of Business Analysts, released the version 1.0 of a guide to business analyst body of knowledge. It is also widely known as BA-BOK. You can download it. You can Google it and download it, and always keep it handy with you for the feedback and comment, and you can know that what is business analysis and what do business analysts are expected to do. Before we get into this, okay, someone cannot see the screen. Let me reshare the screen. Okay. Okay, so let me know still if you can see the screen or not.
Yeah, we are able
It's
to see
fine.
now.
Okay.
See now.
Okay, so this is what I was talking about, history of business analyst. So how it started with 2003, in 2004 became visible, and in 2005 the BA-BOK came into the existence that you can download. All right. So understand what is business analysis. So as per BA-BOK, that is the Business Analyst Board of Body of Knowledge, guide version 3.0 says that business analysis is the practice of enabling change in an enterprise by defining needs and recommending solutions that deliver value to stakeholders. Now let me remind you, so it is very scary and appear very scary the moment people see or foresee any changes coming in, because they bang their head over the desk and they or over the wall, thinking that we'll have to repeat something once again because we have done something else. So they become sometimes frustrated because things might sound repetitive. But if you want to continue uh, if you want to continue to do your earning and do more earning, then for business analysis or business analyst, your focus should be towards the change. And why? Because the more change will come in, the more the more change you will identify and get it approved, to get it implemented, the more earning you will see, more cash you can see. So change is cash, but let me ask you, if it brings more money, then who would not start loving it? And by the way, let me ask you this thing: how many of you would love to have more money? Okay, none. So if you
Maybe
told,
everyone.
okay, thank you for being honest. So yes, if you want to have more, then you will get more. And if you would say no, money is nothing for me, means it does not make much sense for me, so definitely you won't have that, because that won't make sense to you. If it will make sense, you will have that. So always remain for that focus towards the change, and the more welcome you will do with this change, the more money you will be able to see. Because not focusing on change can bring the stagnancy towards the work, and thereby you will experience to sitting on the bench and not doing anything, because when time was there, you could not identify change, you could not approve it, and could not get it implemented, and thereby you did not get the job to continue to do, to contribute, and thereby could not earn enough even by being in the job. So always, because you said that you love to earn more, so always have an intent to focus and identify the changes, talk about those changes, get it approved, and get it accommodated as a business analyst. So that's the mantra I shared over here with you, with each one of you. And that's the reason, if you will have that intent, that focus, you will not miss any change. So that is what business analysis is all about, is identifying the change into the existing system for its improvisation. Okay, let's understand the kind of a person it is who is business analyst. If you have understood what is analysis of the business, you need to understand what is business analyst is and what is its role into the scrum. So a
Yeah,
business
Gaurav,
analyst is,
I would
yeah,
like to just intervene here.
yeah, please go
So
ahead.
just to add to what Gaurav has mentioned, when we are in a typical IT setup, we have a lot of different teams. Those we have learned that in agile, but in overall setup also, we have variety of teams. Like we have a typical development team who are mostly all technical people. When I say technical people, that means they are the developers and they are the programmers, they are the web designers. They are everything to do with technology and very little to do with the customers or the communication part to the management and stuff. Then we have people from testing team. Then we have people from technical architect team. So all these people, they are the actual team who work on the development and delivery. Okay. So we have these people, and then we have the stakeholders like the customers who want to get work done. Now, actually on a funnier lines, these two people talk in a different language. So for technical people, their world is very much restricted to the technical side of everything, development, the technology, the feasibility, the networks, the database, whatnot. Whatever you heard, that is what they're working on. Whereas for a customer, they are very much like typical human beings who talk in English and who just express their ideas through communication. Many a times, customers do have their own IT setup as well. But in typical organizations, when a customer comes in, they are just asking for requests in plain English, or they want to have some websites and applications. So to be very honest, to bridge the gap between these two teams, like the team actually who work on customer demands and the customers, they should know what they're talking about. So in this scenario, the business analyst role comes in. So business analyst is a person who basically communicates with everybody and share their requirements or their ideas, their vision to with each other. Because business analysts are expert and they are trained in this, so they take the understanding from customers and they share it in a very comfortable, a little I won't say technical, but in a functional way that is understandable by the business team. Okay. So though Gaurav had really given a very fantastic introduction, this is kind of the need of the business analyst, and I think we will also learn more about it in detail. Yeah, Gaurav, over to you. Thank you.
Thank you, Prerna, for adding up and really adds value. So we are because learning about business analysis, who who does this job. So as a business analyst, and what it is written as per BA Bog is that it talks that is a person. Business analyst is a person who perform business analysis tasks described in BA Bog guide. So no more matter their job title or organizational role, business analysts are responsible for discovering, synthesizing, and analyzing information from a variety of sources within an enterprise, including tools, processes, documentation, and stakeholders. The business analyst is responsible for eliciting the actual needs of stakeholders, which frequently involves investigating and clarifying their expressed desires in order to determine underlying issues and causes. Now let me give more clarity on this. So there are two type of business analysts. Okay, so one business analyst who work on the core product. Okay, that is number one. One business analyst will identify and recognize the more changes, and he creates or he is responsible for the elicitation or documentation of the enhancement. How does it happen? So say for example, let's get into the layman term, okay, and understand how you have been performing a task of business analyst. So the moment you get inside or you be prepared to get into a shopping. Okay, so when you go to a shopping, what exactly you do? Say for example, you have to buy a refrigerator. Okay, you visit the corner of home appliances, you select a different type of a refrigerator. You kept on analyzing that how much liter it will have, whether it is fulfilling your requirement or not. So you understand your requirement already, or if your requirement is pre-written already. So you refer to that list, and or you refer to that requirement, and accordingly you look for selecting the this kind of refrigerator. Finally you get it delivered. Even though it gets delivered, what do you identify? You look for its manual. Manual is written instruction on a piece of paper or in a card or in a booklet to understand how to operate its some advanced features. And same may go with the microwave if you want to buy, and if you have bought or something like that. So even the documentation, the user manual will become the documentation is there. You know that with whom to interact when it comes for the servicing, what are the emergency numbers are there, all the information are there, warranty card is given, everything is there. So all those information are there. And say for example something is missing, or something which you are not able to understand in the similar manual or in a piece of paper, you for you to remember, you take a note of it, and you keep it for your information only. So while you are doing these all activity, who does that? So the person with the trait of business analyst will only do that. So if you have done this kind of work in the past, then you should tell yourself, oh, I see, I was performing already a part of business analyst in my daily rituals, or in my daily course, or in my daily activity, if I have performed earlier doing so. So by the way, let me ask you, do you understand now that you have been performing the role of business analyst? Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
So if you have done this kind of work, we all have this kind of approach inside life. Now we are putting some technical things to be analyzed once we get placed in IT, in corporate of America, and there we are carrying this logo, this tag of being a business analyst. Okay. So on this note, so this is the typical need that okay, fine, I understand what is business analyst, who does business analysis, and what is business analyst, we have understood so far. Then why it was needed, we are going to talk about it. So Prerna, would you like to take this slide and want to explain this?
Sure, Gaurav.
Yeah, thanks.
So yes, we really have this very easy to understand, image wherein it shows what all is kind of taken care in business analysis. So is this visible to you guys?
Yes.
Yes. So I'll request each one of you to read one segment for me, so you'll understand. We can start by Disha, Prajakta, Aparajita, Elizabeth, and Radha, Ruby in this manner. Please go ahead.
Change and life happens.
Okay, superb. Next,
Uh,
please.
Project requires flexibility and adaptations to respond to change. One has to
O-
analyze the impact due to the change.
Okay, next.
This one is business analyst who analyzes the change, impact, gather requirement, and liaise with stakeholders.
Okay, perfect. Now go. Now please go to these circles. What is mentioned in the circle, please. In the image.
Requirement, planning, and management.
Perfect. Next. Next, please. Who is remaining? I think only 4 of you have spoken.
Requirement elicitation.
Perfect. Then
Enterprise
Requirement
analysis.
requirement communication. Okay, next, please.
solution
Enter-
evaluation and validation.
Okay, thank you. Next. Anyone can
Requirement
take it. We're
analysis
done.
and documentation.
Okay, requirement analysis and documentation. Thank you. And last.
Enterprise analysis.
Okay, thank you. Thank you so much, all of you, for reading it out. So, as you have read all these points, I think somewhere, and definitely along with all the explanation given by Gaurav earlier, I think somewhere you might have a slight idea about this exact role. So let me elaborate that for you. The first line is quite, it's basically the fact of life that change and life happens. That means in any industry, we see so many changes, starting with film industry, how the movies used to be shot earlier, in animation industry, how the animations were earlier. They were so simple, we had such simple cartoons or simple movies, and nowadays the animation are so real life, right? So I hope you all watch Disney movies and stuff. So what kind of technology that is being used. So that's one industry. So similarly, we have our industry, IT industry, wherein earlier the requirements, the web applications, the websites that were asked by customers, they were quite easy and quite simple. Nowadays, if you look at any big company's website, that can be Accenture, that can be Google, Microsoft, IBM, you see it is so interactive. There are bots there, they're asking you for if you need any help, you can chat with them, and they respond to you as per your ask. Then there are a lot of segments, a lot of small movies or small videos playing, a lot of interactive things on the web page, like some images, some pop-ups. So even for that, my favorite example of always that people can relate to, all of you guys use Facebook. Please tell me yes or no.
Yes.
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 Okay, thank you. Do you remember how Facebook used to look like 10 or 12 years back when it was launched? Can anybody tell me what is the difference between that Facebook app, or that Facebook web app, and now? What were the differences basic? Any, two or four. I'm not looking for in detail technical. Yeah, please go ahead.
There was no location details. Now can go live, check in, location
Absolutely.
details.
Thank you, Sneha. Anybody else?
Mm, They added a market tab where we can sell and buy things.
Yes, absolutely right. Thank you. Thank you, Tejaswini. Yes.
A simple feature like replying to somebody's comment or liking or loving or different emojis that they've put on.
Yes. So many emojis, right? And now they have GIFs also. So earlier we didn't have that, right? Thank you so much. Rightly mentioned. Yeah. Anything else? Guys, you use Facebook, Please, women are
Facebook
supposed to.
calls, video calls.
Yes, absolutely. Yes. And
The profile picture and the back
background,
picture, the
back
background.
picture. Yes,
Initially, it was
absolutely.
very basic with basic features. There were
Absolutely, absolutely. I actually wanted this answer. All the other answer are obviously perfect and technical. But if I have to comment on this, I would say earlier Facebook used to just look like what I would say, a notebook page, just like you had your picture and you had the format and you could just write on the walls, right? You can add them, like search your friends and add them and set them. But it was very like a plain Jane, there was nothing flashy, very simple. But now, please add more things if you wish to. I can see you can raise funds, you can have polls, you can have your own pages for your business. You can have so many videos. You can tag people. You can share videos in WhatsApp or in other media. You can update on Insta, and that can get updated in the Facebook. And I mean, I think the functionalities are endless. We may not be using all of them, but there are too many. Do you agree?
Yeah.
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 And
Yes.
do you think it's an overnight thing, or it has been very gradual from last 20 to 12 years? What do you feel?
It's a
Gradually.
gradual improvement.
Gradual.
Gradual improvement.
Gradual.
Same with WhatsApp or video calling. Earlier, we were able to call only one person. Then they increased to two people. Then they increased to four people. And as of today on WhatsApp, I think you can have a group call at till 8 people,
8
right?
people. Mhm.
Yeah.
Yes.
So you tell me this kind, and by the way, it looks very simple, but technically there are a lot of challenges and a lot of things to take care of, along with your sensitivity and privacy of your messages, encryption of your messages. So imagine all these things have happened and we did not even pay much attention because we are so used to in using them. So this is what when I say change and life happens. Okay. Even you yourself are not as same as what you were, 10 to 12 years back. The kind of applications you use, the kind of technology you use, the kind of car you use, even I think the Google Maps have changed, now you can get to, you actually get to use a specific model of the vehicle and that vehicle moves along your path, I know it looks so funny, but it looks so, entertaining at the same time. At least I use that. So all these features were not earlier present. So imagine when a customer or when a company were implementing that, it had to communicate all these things in a comfortable manner when the development team can listen. See, generally it says that technical people are more inclined toward computers and technology, and they are less inclined towards people. Is it's a generalized statement. I'm not saying it's a specific one. So to bridge that gap between the requirements and the technology, we have business analyst, right? So tomorrow, if you want to have some additional feature in your application, or you want to create a website, uh, you can talk to a technical team directly, but for better understanding of what they are telling you back and what you're trying to explain, it's always best to have a business analyst. So they are basically like the people or the team who communicate your requirement to development teams so they understand it better, and they communicate development teams any I would say queries or doubts which they need to get it clarified to you so you could answer to them, right? So are we kind of clear on why business analyst, what is the need? Please, you can say yes or no if you are
Yes,
not
yes.
comfortable
Yes.
still,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Yes. So I'll give you one simple example. I do not know how it works in your home, but this is the way it used to be. Imagine you are a very loving mother. You must be. I'm just saying. And see in a family in a parent a typical parent situation, we always have a good cop and bad cop situation, right? Many a times it's like the mother is the good cop and dad is the bad cop, just when the kids are small and they're young and they are being naughty and stuff. So when a kid needs something and they want to buy some, maybe some expensive or some gift that they want to have, and they have to communicate the kid that to their dad. So who communicates that on their behalf? And dad is angry, or if the kids are scared of dad, or you just have made that situation, right? You being the mom, be the mediator and try to communicate between them, right? Many a times, not always. I'm just saying, right?
Yes.
Yes or no? Or imagine your childhood, in my case it was opposite. My mother used to be the strict one, my father was very easygoing and very loving, so we used to actually have it vice versa, though we were pretty cool, but still many a times when you're too young. So same way, in the same fashion, we have business analysts who are there to bridge the gaps, to join, to share the understanding within the teams and with the customers. Okay. Now moving back to the points mentioned here. The second point, project requires flexibility and adaptation to respond to change, and one has to analyze the impact due to change. Okay. So we just now discussed all these changes happening in Facebook, right? Do you think it just came into one developer's mind or development team's mind and they started working on it? Or do you think there was a detailed thought process? Yeah, right. There were research, there were discussions of what actual users want or what are their requirements, and then it was in detail thought of, properly planned with the help of diagrams and documents. What do you think? Just imagining Facebook as a very big organization. What do you think would have been done? Was it like a instant thing, or was it like very thought over process?
Thought over process.
Latter one.
Ladder
Thought.
one, right? Because
Right.
if you want to sustain some change or make some decent change which is technically proof, It has to be a very thought over process, right? You have to give it detail and stuff. So who do you think does that in Facebook as well, along with the technical team? The document creation, the understanding part, the analysis part. Who does that?
Business.
Business
Business
analyst.
The
analyst.
business
Yes,
analyst team.
yes. I don't understand, girls, why you're so scared. Absolutely. Whenever I say analysis, it's always business analyst. They can be senior, junior, super senior, but yes, always analyst. So, many a time you may have this question that why the role is so important. This role is extremely important. And not only in IT, in any other industry. It can be medical, it can be textile, it can be fashion, it can be, any industry, automation, robotics, everywhere. In banking also, extremely important, because we need to have people, we need to have employees who understand the current system, who understand what the customer wants, what changes they want, what are their requirements, when do we want it, and how it has to be presented. So all these business change, impact, requirement gathering, and communication with the stakeholders is done by business analyst. So basically they are, I kind of call them the lifeline. If one day, or if a particular time, if analyst is not there, trust me, a development team and even the customer have a tough time. They do have tough time, because there is no one who talk the common language, though they can sit and discuss. But to have that ease, to have that understanding, to have that flow, business analysts are very, very important. So I think for all kind of requirement planning, their management, then requirement understanding, that is elicitation, then communication, then actually to come up with solutions. So many a times what happen, analysts are not the people who sit and do the coding, but they are the people who give the feasible solutions, because they know what the customer wants. So basically when we had a one-to-one chat, feature in Facebook, business analyst did talk to the customers, and they come up with people. Hey, many a times in an organization, or in a friends group, they want to have group chat. So along with having one-to-one chat, we can have any number of group chat, so you can add people in the chats. And then this idea was communicated to the development team, and there a detailed discussion happened, and then that was developed and introduced. So right, all these understandings, so solutions and evolution, validation, that means what has to be the next solution, how we can achieve it. So all these things are communicated in a very detailed analysis manner, with the analysis, with the documentation, and ensuring that it all becomes a proper product. It's an enterprise product. Enterprise product means it has all the features, it's all in on one product. So for example, Microsoft Office is an enterprise product, right? So basically it has Word, it has PPT, it has so many things that we don't even use. So all, it's like a combined product when you have many features. So it's many a times when such big products or projects are introduced, those are called enterprise projects or enterprise analysis, right? So do you have any doubt in this explanation of you, or you still have any feeling that why business analyst and what is their role in particular functionality? Please feel free to ask.
It's good.
You're good? Yeah, if you're good, just raise a thumbs up, or you can message, or just simply say I'm good. We can continue. Thank you, Sneha. Yes. Radha, Tejaswini, Sneha, Prajakta. Yeah, what about Ruby, Sharda, and Disha?
Yes.
Yeah, Disha, thank you. What about Elizabeth?
Got it.
Thank you.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah,
superb,
it's good.
superb. Thank you so much. Yeah. Gaurav, can we move on to next slide, please? Or you want to add something here?
Yeah, definitely we can move on to the next slide. I think we are really going good, and so far
Okay.
nothing extra to be added. So yeah,
Sure.
this is the next slide.
Okay. So now we know why business analysts are important. We know what is their role, what all they contribute, what is their basic job to communicate and all. So here now comes to the actual business deal. Why we are here at Guru Schools? How to become one. Okay. I'm pretty sure you all are interested in that part more as of now, and you should be if you ask me. So I kind of wanted a female figure here too, but then this was the image we thought was best suited. So we have the guy, but don't worry, it's definitely not gender specific. I honestly at times feel females are more appropriate for this job because our natural forte of being good at communication. So yeah, can you just read out one skills for me? What are the skills required for business analyst prerequisites? Yes, anybody can start.
Degree and domain knowledge.
Thank you. Yes.
Analytical
Analytical
skills.
skills.
Okay. Next, please.
Microsoft Excel.
Yeah. One can continue. Go
Negotiation
ahead,
skills.
Tejaswini. Yeah. Communication skills.
S-
Yes. Next.
SQL.
Okay. Next.
Communication skills.
Okay. Nobody said negotiation skills or what?
We
Yes,
did.
it.
I did.
It's got overlapped.
Okay, okay. I like it, Me and Gaurav, we always emphasize, if given an opportunity, you should always be the one to grab it. So I like this. It's fine. We should be excited. So yes, you see this kind of little geeky yet smart guy who has these all features. So please read out these features as well. I think we just kind of studied in the earlier slide, but more or less similar. Yeah, you can start from need identification. Yeah.
Need identification.
Okay. Next. Thank you.
Elicitation and collaboration.
Okay. Thank you so much. Next.
Requirements and communication.
Perfect. Next.
Requirement modeling.
Thank you. Next.
Requirement management.
Okay. So now you have to tell me what is the common thing that you just read quite a lot in this entire diagram or this entire slide?
Requirement.
Requirement.
Perfect.
Requirement.
Next.
Communication.
Oh, who said that?
Me. Aparmita.
Rajita? Okay.
No.
Aparmita.
Yeah.
Yes. So, to be very honest, I do not know what is there on Google or on YouTube or what the world says. If you ask me, having this, actual industry experience of working in IT, I would recommend you business analyst is 90% has to do with communication. Communication, that doesn't mean you just have to sit and talk. Communication means you have to simplify the things that you, I would say, deliver or share within team, outside team, with stakeholders. Okay. So it simply means how a toddler or a baby is crying, and as a mother or as a caretaker we interpret their demand. Okay, are they hungry, have they pooped, or do they need to have a take a bath, or do they need sleep or whatever. So similar way, though that is very tough, and as women we all do a great job in that, but not this tough, but definitely to a technical or to a functional level understanding, these things have to be interpreted, what the customer wants, how they want it, when they want it, and take all this data, take all this requirement, take all this details, and communicate that with your technical team, with your other stakeholder who will actually work on that. So sorry for my voice today, it's a little shaky, but I hope it's fine. So to deal with this, we need this business analyst. And to become one, we need to have this, I will not say all six, but if you have all six of them, that's a bonus point. But you have to have these skills wherein you can just start working. Now, I hope you are in the BA QA group and you do read the comments. We have so many people who are getting placed, and after a couple of days training or induction, they are just started working. So imagine you today you are attending the course, you finish the course in next 4 to 5 weeks, then you attend RRRP sessions, you work on your CV that gets approved by Dave sir, and then we even review that along with that. Once that is done, then you have an interview, you crack your first interview, first ever, no, before interview, you have mock interview sessions with us, which we take for practice and confidence building. Once that is done, then you crack your first ever interview and you get placed, and you are just gonna get your first paycheck. And by the way, this is not a story or a hypothetical situation. This is the actual scenario what happened with one of the candidates by the name of Anila, if you might have read the message earlier. So this can be everybody's reality. So this is so, in a way, simple. I won't say easy, but this is so simple. With your little more hard work and constant dedication, you achieve it. So this is what is mentioned. First point is degree and domain knowledge. So domain knowledge is basically knowledge of any particular industry, but here we are giving you a domain knowledge or knowledge of BA role, and degrees definitely you're getting certified in that course, a BA Scrum course. So first point is done. Communication, 6 point is absolutely fine, because when I could hear you girls talking in a very confident voice, in a very clear way, and whatever you said, I'm able to understand. Gaurav is able to connect with you, so that is ticked, that is done. Microsoft Excel, I think all of you must have worked. If not, definitely for your kids or your family projects, you might be working. If you're not working, I'll recommend you to start, using or learning about Microsoft Excel. It's a great tool. It's a heavily used tool in industry. Then fifth, analytical skills. We are here to teach you, and I think as women, we kind of have that inborn qualities. Like, imagine if you have people, 5 people coming over for you for dinner, and so you just start analyzing what all things I need to cook, my main course, my dessert, and how the starting would be, what extra I can add, how can I cook all this in less period of time. So all this analytics is kind of inbuilt in us. And last, but not the least, SQL, and that's is mentioned nowadays. So basically, SQL stands for Structural Query Language. It's generally used to get data from database. So very basic level of SQL knowledge can be asked by some employers. I'm again highlighting it is not mandatory, but it's definitely a good to have feature. So it's like having an extra feather in your cap. So these all are basic requirements or prerequisites for becoming an analyst. And I'm pretty sure, except SQL, okay, I just mentioned negotiation skills. Sorry, I just forgot. By the way, just give me yeses if any one of you have ever bargained for anything in your life. That can be clothes, that can be jewelry, that can be vegetables, that can be any shopping. Or
Yes.
just, if you're
Maybe
not
everyone
done it.
did it at some
Yes,
point of the time.
Yes.
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 It is yes. For women, it's absolutely yes. We generally never buy anything at face value. Given an option, we could actually bargain in Zara and in other shops also, but we can't do that. So that's why we don't. Otherwise, we would have, right? Do you
Yeah.
connect with me? Yes.
Yes.
Because for
Yes.
us, value for money is everything, right?
Yes.
So
Yes.
tell me, so now you tell me, can you become a business analyst? Can you become a very good business analyst or not? What do you feel right now? Though this is the first
Of
session.
course.
Yes.
Yes. Who
Yes.
said that?
Yes.
Who said that? Yes, absolutely. So on this note, I just want all of us to just give a round of a small round of claps for understanding that we all are already business analysts and we can become one. Please unmute yourself and just say, I am a business analyst, and clap. One, two, three, and start. Yes. I'm
Hi,
business
I'm
I am a
analyst.
I'm a
business
business
analyst.
analyst.
Yes, I am a business analyst already. So yes, thank you so much. So do you realize how relatable it is for us? It is for us. Yes or no?
Yes,
Right?
yes,
Yes.
We
yes.
have the
Yes.
communication skills,
Yes.
we have the analytical skills, we definitely have the negotiation skills. Just remember yourself in any fair or any street market, how we buy things. If you are from India, if you go to any weekly bazaar or local bazaar, or if you are from basically from Mumbai, if you go to fashion street, you go to Hill Road for purchasing of clothes and fashion accessories, the kind of negotiation and bargaining happens there is out of the world. So yes,
Yeah.
we are
True.
equipped, and we are yeah, we are already there, we just have to get formally trained. So thank you so much for your responses. I just wanted to instill this in you that we are already equipped. The technical side, the understanding side, the certification and degree side, we are there to cover for you, to help you with. Okay. So thank you so much for this. Gaurav, I'm done with this slide. Would you wish to add something, or we can move to the next one, please?
yeah. So I'll move to the next one, and
I have a question.
Yeah, please go ahead.
Ma'am, can you please elaborate SQL?
Yeah, who asked this question? I cannot see your
Aparmita.
Okay, Aparmita. So Aparmita, if you SQL is basically okay. Do you have you heard the word database in any time?
Yes.
Okay, so I'll tell you what does database do. I'll just continue with the Facebook example because it is very easy to relate. When you log into the Facebook, it asks you for your user ID password, right?
Right.
You have to enter your email ID and a password, right? Though you have it stored on your phone, but many a times when you use a new device or somebody else's computer, you have to enter, right?
Right.
Yeah. So where do you think what happens when you enter your email ID and password? Just plain idea.
It it authenticates your.
Very well said. Very rather a perfect word, authentication. Yeah. So to authenticate your email ID and password, it has to check that, right? So how do you
Yes.
check that information? Because it is stored in a database already. So when you enter that, there is a query, like SQL query, or there is one questionnaire or a query mentioned asking for this email ID and this password. Do we have a Facebook user? So from the database, it selects, yes, we have this Facebook user by the name of Aprajita, and all your details, your profile pictures, your albums, and all that what was stored, it's kind of fetched from the database.
Got
So
it.
it is
Got it.
it is just like an hotel. A waiter takes an order and gives it to the kitchen, and he gets back. So you can imagine a waiter as a SQL. Is the lamest one example, but it's the easiest to understand,
Got it.
because he knows how to talk to you and he knows how to get data. So he gets in a tray the same way an SQL query gets in an answer, the response of the query. And don't worry, in the course of next sessions we will share some websites where you can help yourself. It's basically a lot of self learning, and nobody expects you to be an expert in it. Trust me, it's just a good to know things. Many the times people are very interested in some technical part as well. That's why it's recommended. And as you discuss with developers and team, is that good to have knowledge. So basically it's a query language to fire on database and to get the data. Are we good, Aprajita? Sorry,
Yes,
Aparmita?
absolutely. Thank you.
So, Prerna
Yeah.
ma'am, will
Yeah.
just a basic knowledge of, matlab, watching some basic YouTube videos will on SQL will work?
It will not work. It will I mean, we said chalega kya daudega, that's way it will work wonders. And
Mhm.
even for that we'll share you, and let me share you right away. There is a website by the name of W3 schools. W for alphabet, 3 as a number. W3 schools. I'll just write that in chat right away so I don't forget that. Okay, this is for everyone. You can check this. It's a very easy to understand website. they have mentioned a lot of courses. You can just select W3 course. Sorry, SQL course. Okay, can you all see this? I've said w3schools.com. Along with that, you're very much free to watch any of the videos on YouTube, but very basic knowledge is required. If you have any doubts in that, please reach out to me or DM me. I'll tell you, because I do have a development background, and to an actual usage point of view, I can tell you what basic things you can learn. You can just basically a select queries more than enough what you should know. So just to have a look at the database, they don't expect you to work on database. Just a view part is fine. Okay. And one request to all of you, please call me Prerna. I would love to be your friend more than your ma'am. So please, please, please. Okay, that's a request from my side. So can we go to the next slide? Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, sure.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Yeah, Gaurav.
Yeah, so I think no more questions over here, and we
Yes.
can move to the next one. So Prerna, do you want to have a sip of water and I can continue with the next?
Thank you so much. Yes, I
Yeah.
would. Thank you, Gaurav. Yeah.
Yeah. So yes, so now after understanding more in details with more relative example and with more real example, connecting example, here is the another slide which is talking about roles and responsibility of business analyst. Okay, so it's a ongoing, it's increasing. The more you showcase that you can handle, the more you will get that. Okay, so if you'll understand more in detail that this is a kind of work, let me rather read it over here. So let me nominate someone who can read it. So let me see who can read it. So who can read it for me? Anyone?
I can.
Okay, who said that?
I.
Radha. Okay, Radha, yes. Please read this first bullet.
Yeah, business analysts work across all levels of an organization and may be involved in everything from defining strategy to creating the enterprise architecture to taking a leadership role by defining the goals and requirements for programs and projects or supporting continuous improvement in its technology and processes.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Radha, for reading it out. So by now you have understood that, yes, business analysts are required, but the beauty is that they are required in every phases. In fact, from the scratch, we need the help of business analysts. From the scratch, when we are building a process, when we are building a project, when we are building any architect. So every single time the help of business analyst is needed. Okay, because while we are building it up, we come across various communication. It could be documented, it requires to be documented, and sometimes you as a business analyst find that you also become a key contributor in terms of communication and elicitation when it comes to liaising with the client. So the more importance of it you may experience if you are at the support end of the client. So that is the time where different kind of you uncover the issues that requires to be addressed immediately, or you will get an SLA means is a kind of a timeline which is required to be addressed within that timeline only, sometime within 2 hours, within 24 hours, within 2 days or something like that. Okay, so based on that you need to address, and customers sometimes find you to be a key contributor only. So whenever some issues are notified, that could be a new requirement altogether. Okay, so even to identify that and communicate that, you need to have the skill. And when you will have the skill, you will have the negotiation skill, communication skill, whatever the skills you have seen in the previous slides. So considering them, you are communicating with your client, and client has to agree, and accordingly they have to approve. And the more convincing you are, the more negotiating you are, you can get a new requirement, or although a new feature or expected feature uh, requested by client herself. And that could be another win for you, because you are not only ask client to approve it for their help, but also you started thinking in terms of in favor of your organization as well. So this becomes the win-win situation once you have the identified the problem and solution of that for your client, but also you have won a small part of a little project for your organization as well. How it becomes the little project? Because based on the again changes identified or a new improvement identify, you are contributing in the both the area. Okay, so business analysts helps businesses do business better. And this, with using this approach, whatever Radha has read just now, so this is what it enables to do more and do further better. And you need to understand few skills. So that is for communication. And how do you think that you can enhance your communication? Let me ask you this question. Even at work, even as a business analyst, any idea?
By
Okay.
listening.
Okay, one is by listening. Second, anything else?
Understanding, then replying.
Okay, understanding and then replying. And what will you do to understand at deeper level? One, I understand that you will listen, but sometime
Analyze the situation.
Analyzing the
okay. And how you will be sure that you are analyzing better, understanding better?
by
Previous data.
Communicating or previous data. But how will you be sure that previous data is correct or not?
By practicing.
Okay, by practicing. Okay, so how will you even identify what you are practicing is better or is in sync?
by setting the goals.
By verifying.
How do you verify?
By asking questions.
Exactly. And who said that?
Aparmita.
Aparmita, let's have a round of applause for Aparmita. Exactly. Every time. So can we give a round of applause for Aparmita, please? Okay. So yeah, thank you so much. Thank you so much for coming forward and applauding, because what you give comes back. What you give, that grows. What you appreciate appreciates you. So yes. So on this note, when you are doing this all activity, you are checking, you are verifying, you are listening, and even for listening, you need to verify whether you have listened it properly or not. So always practice to ask questions. Sometimes you may assume that I have listened to this, and sometime customer might have said something else. Okay, so say for example, I'm speaking in speed, and that time I used a word subtle. Okay, subtle may also appear as a or a support. So anything. So few identical word may confuse you and may overlap your listening, and that is the time when you can go back and ask question, and you can say, did you mean so, or did you say this word? Did I understand that you were talking this term? Customer may approve that time. Yes, you heard it right, or yes, you did not hear it right. I mean to say something else, or he may explain it in more details. So in all three ways, who are at winning situation? You are at winning situation. Who will have more control and more power when you are asking question? Of course, it is going to be you and you. So the more question you will ask, more verification approved you will experience, that whatever the question you have asked, it has been verified and now it has been approved, and you will feel more in control, and even you will have the power and authority over the client, because now by asking question you have showcased your authority, that you are in control, and even clients control you have. So this is something more powerful. As a business analyst, you can showcase, and never ever forget to ask question. Even sometime you go into the interviews, you are asked that do you want to ask any question, and especially when you are going for interviewer's question, sorry, BS interview, and if you will be asked that do you have any question, and I would suggest and recommend, by not asking question after asking this question by interviewer, you are losing an opportunity. Okay, so every one of you are getting prepared over here for getting placed and clearing the interview. Always remember to have that. So today I'm planning also to release one exemplary mock interview, and based on that I have not captured all the input I had gave to the lady, but yeah, whatever the capture whatever the input I have captured, so I'll make that in the audio mode and will share that with you, but that will be followed by the complete interview. Okay, so you will have the idea that how to be more careful when I am pulling some data, or I have mentioned some data inside our interview. So that is number one. So that should be always known to you, and how to practice, how to respond, where you think you will have more strength and more power while clearing some interview. So those things will happen, but yes, when you will experience and ask more questions, that will play a very big role into your own placement. By the way, do you all agree that is going to play a really crucial role when you practice it to ask more questions? Yeah.
Yes, yes,
Okay,
Yes.
let me ask
yes.
this question to all. How many of you stay along with your spouse? You can raise your hand. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, 7, 8, 9. Okay, almost all. So when you stay with your spouse, how do you get the clarity with your spouse that what he is seeking? Don't you ask more question to your spouses? Now this time you can say yes or no. The more question you will,
Yes.
yes.
Gaurav, let me add here. As women, we keep asking questions only because we don't get answers, right? Most of
Yes.
the time,
Yes.
True
most
that,
of the
Priya.
times, the husbands are not even listening to the questions. So we come up with more questions. Yes,
Mhm.
I think everybody will
Yeah.
agree to that. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay,
Mhm.
I won't say anything on this.
Yeah, please go ahead.
Okay, so yeah, and that's the quality I just wanted to remind you. Don't forget to practice this question, even though you are practicing at home. That's the beauty. Okay, that makes you more powerful, and that is the time when you will find your husband or your spouses. So you can see the control and power you have over them. In the similar manner, you can have the same control and power over client if you will continue to practice this. Okay, so I think today, because we have just started business analysis thing and business analyst track, I think we should not give you more thing to think about and ponder upon. So I think with this light information, you can go back and you can observe yourself wherever you are behaving as a scrum master or business analyst. I remember always one wonderful conversation I had with one of my Mansar Guru School's candidate, and she was observing herself, and she was really finding that when she is behaving and facilitating and bringing all the stuff for their spouse, her spouse and kids, and how she is managing, she found herself she was a scrum master, and that added something to mention as experience more authentically, because that came through the experience, even though she had that at home, and she named few of our activity as a part of project. Okay, so in the similar manner, you too can continue to observe yourself and experience this and gain that authentication and authority and power. But at the same time, when here I'm trying to conclude, let me ask you this thing, that okay, Ruby and Sharda, I see still your hand is up. So is this because of question, or you did not lower your hand?
I did not lower my hand.
Okay, no problem. Thank you so. No problem. Thank you so much. So yes, this is another very important question I wanted to understand, which I started with. That is, how many of you went through, how many of you have gone through this particular last time track that is about estimation and all. And if you have gone through, do you have any question, or did you do your own self research? Because we have not received it. Okay, Sneha gone through it. And Sneha, do you have any question? Tejaswini went through. Okay, do you have any question? Sneha and Tejaswini, you said that you are going to again touch base it. So yeah.
Yes, sorry. That is on the other track video, the velocity, capacity, and the story. So I'll be connecting with you offline.
Yeah, sure. So Sneha and Elizabeth, do you have any question? Disha? No? So if you have, you can simply unmute yourself and you can speak up. Otherwise, I would request you, because this is being very crucial part and very important, your summary will complete the thing. It will complete the circuit when it started with this track of business and with the track of Agile and Scrum. And when you will talk about more estimation, that gives more authority and authentication and visibility to you, and thereby the credibility to you in front of the people who are associated with Guru Schools, even as a vendor. So you will come more visible to them. So I would highly recommend to come up with the summary of this estimation or last time's session or lesson. So that is one thing I just wanted to say. And on this note, before I conclude this, let me ask Prerna. Prerna, do you want to add something over here? Prerna, do you want to add something?
No, Gaurav, I think I'm good. We are fine.
All right. So I think this was a light, a light consumption for you today. So on this note, let me ask Disha. Disha, what do you feel like saying? Do you have any question? Do you want to say something?
I'm feeling like I'm more excited to learn about more in BA.
Super amazing. And I love this excitement. We all love this excitement. Continue this up, very up. And Disha, bring up and come up with the more and more summary that is going to add a lot of value to your placement. So yes, Disha, you can call out some name on the screen you see.
Radha,
what do you feel like saying?
Yeah. Excuse me.
No worries.
Yeah. To roles and to know the more information about the BA as a BA.
Okay. So can you repeat that one word which comes in your mind? The curiosity you mean to say?
Yes.
You're
more
feeling
information about the as a business analyst.
Okay. So you're feeling more curious now.
Yes.
Can I say so? Okay, fine. Radha, can you just tag someone on the screen you see?
Elizabeth,
what do you feel like saying?
It's good to know that I'm already a business analyst at my house, so without
Wonderful.
pay.
Yeah.
So now actually being a business analyst with pay, that would be really nice.
Why do you think without pay you get all the love, all the attention, all the importance, all that feeling of being loved? That is the best form of payment. Though we are not seeking that in actual industry, but see, you are already prepared. You just have to enter in the industry and get your paychecks every month. So that's it.
Sure.
Elizabeth,
Yeah.
thank you so much for sharing like this. And I'm sure now you will be behind to earn back your payout. Yeah. So
Yes.
continue to pursue this, and that you can pursue by attending more RRP session. So thank you for saying so that you are already a business analyst and now you have to recover your money. So yes, Elizabeth. So you can tag out someone's name on the screen you see.
Ruby.
Ruby, what do you feel like saying?
So I was ready for that.
Cool.
But anyway, it's like a new beginning, but I think,
Yeah. So new beginning, new
probably,
transition. That's what
yes.
you are feeling today. Okay. So thank you, Ruby, for sharing that. And who would you like to tag?
Prerna.
Okay, Prerna, I think let her come at last, but in between you can tag someone else.
Aparmita.
Aparmita, yes, Aparmita, what do you feel like saying?
Very interesting.
Very interesting. And who would you
Yeah,
like to
and
tag?
very lifelike.
Okay, very interesting and very lifelike, you said?
Yes.
Okay, awesome. Great words. So, Aparmita, to whom would you like to add?
Sharda.
Sharda, yes, Sharda, what do you feel like saying?
Thank you for proving that all housewives are business analysts without any certification.
Yeah.
Along with
So,
project manager, along with delivery manager, along with the
as well
CEO, they
as
are
we
everything.
are able
Yes,
to understand that we are working as business analysts and scrum masters at home, I'm able
absolutely.
to
And product
understand.
owner, and at times a tester and a project manager.
Like
So basically, we
we are
play all the
playing all
roles.
these multiple roles at
Yeah,
home
unpaid
without
business
understanding.
analyst.
Yeah, yeah. And right now, unpaid, very soon it will be paid ones as well.
So I'm
So,
really so happy today knowing that I have been a business analyst from past 11 years.
wonderful.
See, and you
Great.
did not even know that. So now you know it, so you already
Yes.
have an extra advantage. Rather, we
I
all
think I
have an
can
extra
write in my
advantage.
experience instead of writing 7 years, I'm 11 years a business analyst.
Absolutely. You just have to prepare a little more for that, but yes, you can and you should. Surely, yes.
Yeah.
So that's really making me so happy that I'm already one and I'm
Yes,
learning it right now
absolutely.
properly.
Sure,
Thank
sure.
you.
Super.
Thank you
Yeah.
so much, Sharda. Yes. So, Sharda, who would you like to add next?
Tejaswini.
Tejaswini. Yeah, Tejaswini. What do you feel like saying?
Thank you, Shada. Yeah, it was such an enthusiastic and interesting one. Truly, I am up with all the others who have just spoken about the business analyst role and all the other roles that we are in. So yeah, it's good to know.
Yeah. Thank you. And Tejaswini, who would you like to add next?
Disha?
Disha. Yes, Disha, what do you feel like saying?
I'm done.
You're done. So you can pass to someone.
Prajakta?
Prajakta. Yes, Prajakta. What do you feel like saying?
Yeah, it's like good, like, and just eager to learn more in a technical way.
Yeah, technical way.
Yes,
So,
everybody said, yeah, right. We all are business analysts. It's been like
yes,
11, 12 years. Just, we have to be technically
exactly.
perfect. That's it.
Yes, super. So, Prajakta, who would you like to pass? Then I'll comment. Next.
Prerna.
Prerna. Prerna. Yes, Prerna. So, I think everyone is done. So, yes, Prerna.
Yes. So for me, today's session,
I'm sure that Prerna Sneha is not yet done.
is it?
So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Sneha, please go ahead.
Okay. Thank you, Prerna. Yeah, I'm like step closer to my goal.
Well said, well articulated. See, you guys are already talking like business analysts, if you ask me, articulated and achieved and successful. Pretty good choice of word. Thank you so much. Yes.
Thank you.
So I think everybody's done.
Yes, yes,
Gaurav?
Prerna. So, yes, up to you now.
Yes, thank you so much. So ladies, let me be very honest with you. You all have in it you already have it in you. You can do it. The only thing is formal training and definitely quite a lot efforts from your end, because it's like it's like having an unpolished diamond. You have to polish it. So you'll have to work on yourself. You have to rewatch these videos. You can rewatch other trainers videos from Guru schools, because there are ample of examples which they give to similar whatever say topics. And then then Gaurav is coming up with beautiful and superb explanation YouTube videos. Recently he shared for Velocity one, so you can watch that, you can understand. If you have any kind of doubts, please reach out. And for me, today's session was a fantabulous one, because I could hear each one of you talking, and you could share and express your views. So for us as trainers at Guru School, this is very important, because ultimately you are the one who's gonna go out and give the interviews and get that dream job. So for me, today's session was superb and fantastic. Over to you, Gaurav. Thank you so
Thank you
much.
so much, Prerna. And yes, here I want to reiterate this thing that, yeah, you may find it is really easy and something, hey, I am able to do this. This is all. This is not exactly we want you to experience, but this is how we want to put it in front of you. Things have been made very, very, very complicated in the market. When you will go out, you will be loaded with lot many complicated thoughts and with lot many confusion and fear. Fear is the most important. People outside the market or inside the market, they think that candidates are driven by fear, and thereby they may get placed. But we believe totally different, that things with ease really gives you peace and let you get going to get placed. Okay, and that's the reason you find how people, and in fact here in Guru schools, here especially in this Be Agile Scrum track, you will find that how things have been really, really made simplified for you, and this thing you won't ever find anywhere, that I give you guarantee of. Okay, who would say that you are already business analyst? Now you are thinking that, hey, I have been doing this since last 11 years, 12 years. That's fantastic, but that is to install the confidence in you through which you can really give direction to your own career. And with this note, I really want to say that always we need to apply the common sense, because common sense is the new what you can say, new vitamin or new mineral or new power food for you, that gives you more strength and a direction towards your career, where you can apply this common sense and you will decide when my weight has to be flexibly reduce and flexibly increase, and that will be visible on your resume. When I say so, that people may have 17 years of experience, but does it not mean that he might have not experience of 8 years? When need arises, when really a person is in need, he starts thinking differently. So identify your need and practice it to think differently. And if in case you can practice it for yourself, don't you think you can practice the same for your client? And with this approach, with this intent, you will always win your client once you get placed and start working for a vendor or for yourself or for that client, for that matter of fact. And you would see that you will be the most loved one, most demanding business analyst or scrum master. So this is what I wanted to share, that yeah, let this curiosity remain up for next coming few days. And always, always, always remember the framework. Your Friday followed by Saturday gives you the power to release some of the summary that becomes more visible to the connected vendors with the Guru schools. And then when you show back on Sunday, you learn more. Monday is your time to give the summary again of the Sunday learning. And then Tuesday, attend RRRP session. Even though it may sound that it is repetitive, that is for you to give you more control upon you, that how you can sound more authenticated one by optimizing your profile, be it over LinkedIn or be it over inside your resume. And then On Wednesday, you can have a breather time. Thursday, repeat the RRP session again. See, visibility defines the credibility and gives you more authenticity, and thereby you will have the way towards placement. Okay, so that's the reason it requires to be repeated. And yes, so we are looking forward to work with you all more closely. Few of you have been already given some input after your profile was approved by Devji, and you need to work on those input and come back with the updated profile. And always remember this thing: before you are in touch with your HR point of contact, remember to tell your HR point of contact not to share your resume with vendors until it is updated from your end. All okay? So if you have understood, so I want to tell all of you a very great remaining time of the weekend. I wish you all a very good night, and thank you so much for your time. And yes, so in case no one of you have any question, we can again see you inside your summary. Okay, summary clips. Thank you so much. Bye bye. Take care and good night.
Thank you, girls. Bye bye.
Good
Good
night,
night.
everybody.
Take
Thank
care.
you. Good night.
Good night.
Thank you.
Bye.